To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Think she can't get a last-second clutch? Watch this. Think he can't carry his team while streaming in high resolution? All the while recording a once-in-a-lifetime win? Watch this. Think leveling up only happens in-game? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, they'll rise to every challenge. Now it's your turn. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Think she can't get a last-second clutch? Watch this. Think he can't carry his team while streaming in high resolution? All the while recording a once-in-a-lifetime win? Watch this. Think leveling up only happens in-game? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, they'll rise to every challenge. Now it's your turn. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Think she can't get a last-second clutch? Watch this. Think he can't carry his team while streaming in high resolution? All the while recording a once-in-a-lifetime win? Watch this. Think leveling up only happens in-game? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, they'll rise to every challenge. Now it's your turn. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Think she can't get a last-second clutch? Watch this. Think he can't carry his team while streaming in high resolution? All the while recording a once-in-a-lifetime win? Watch this. Think leveling up only happens in-game? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, they'll rise to every challenge. Now it's your turn. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you.
Your commands tire me. I won't be denied.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Rise of Legion India League of Legends tournament powered by Intel. It's great to be back again here today. We have moved on to the round of 16s. I will be one of your casters today. My name is Apollonia and joining me is Anthracite.
Hi guys, I'm really excited for this round of 16, our first game in the round of 16, and that too between two crucial teams. We have Synchro's team on the left, that is Deimos Force, and on the right we have a veteran team from Sri Lanka, Team Deiyo's PNX. Honestly, I'm really excited for this game. Both squads have shown dominant performances in the round of 32 games. We have some really big names here. Iruka plays very well. We saw them play really nice last game, and of course we have Synchro, we have Darker Than Zed, we have I Killed Van Gogh. This game is going to be so interesting. Looking at the bans, we see a Veigar, we see a Jax, we see a Nami being banned out, and then on the other side we see the Vladimir, we see the Nunu, and we see the Sejuani being banned out. Vladimir most definitely one of the strongest champs right now. We saw Nuguri just destroy top lane. The montages are just circulating throughout everywhere. And last game itself, Itmam played a really good top lane Vladimir. What are your thoughts on the picks up till now?
Alright, looking at the bans, well, Deimos Force, you know, they don't want the Vega, they don't want the Nami, they don't like the Jax. Well, I think it's a kind of like target bans, I would say. And on Team Deiyo, the Sejuani, the Nunu, they don't like that early pressure kind of jungler. They don't like it at all. And Vladimir, you know, it can be very broken with the crazy amounts of bursts that he has. So the Hecarim first pick on Deimos Force, I like that. Probably, you know, their jungler very, very comfortable on Hecarim, and they're going to say, just give me that Hecarim, we got to do it. So it'll be interesting to see how this Hecarim gets a lead, because if Hecarim does not have that early push, it's going to be hard for him. And on the side of Team Deiyo, Kha'Zix to answer that, well, Kha'Zix is good for ganking. You know, there's a Taric, there's a Shen. It's going to be easy for Kha'Zix to gank these lanes with these two champs in it. So overall, I see not too bad. I'm just very much hoping to see what's going to be in the mid lane and the AD carry pick.
That's very true. Darker Than Zed, a known Hecarim player, he likes being on Hecarim. Hecarim is just one of his comfort picks. Even last match we saw him bring out that Hecarim and just be so dominant in the game. His presence was so much. And Kha'Zix also, as a jungler, Kha'Zix again very strong, very high ganking potential. We also see a Taric and a Shen being picked on the side of Deiyo. So Shen gives you that global ultimate, it gives you that global presence, it gives you that pressure. And Taric as a support is just really nice. It does give you that invulnerability, but at the same time, I don't see him very often in today's times, in today's metas. So let's say Taric for me is a very coin flip kind of pick. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, yeah, Taric is not, you know, it's not a pick that we always see. But when you do see a good Taric, a very, very good timing on the ultimate, the invulnerability for the team, he can turn fights. He can change the tide of a fight. So that will be something I'm looking forward to for Team Deiyo. And I think I still stick by what I said for Deimos Force. It's that Hecarim pick. I want to see how the Hecarim is going to be able to get that early push, pull off the ganks, because he has some hard opponents. You know, there is a Shen, there's a Taric. It's going to be hard for Hecarim to gank these lanes. There's an Orianna. I think Hecarim is probably going to direct himself towards ganking the mid lane of Team Deiyo. And looks like it's all the picks are done. What are your thoughts on the team compositions?
Okay, so looking at the team compositions right now, we do see that Tristana and Syndra being picked off. A lot of people are sending Syndra bot and sending the Tristana mid. So I'm really excited to see what they plan out to do. The swapping has still not happened entirely. They could very well have a Karma Syndra bot lane, and they could just send Tristana up mid straight up. But right now, from the looks of it, I think they're choosing to let Syndra go mid, and they're looking for a Tristana Karma bot lane, which is relatively good. We see Itmam on the Gangplank again, a very safe farmer with the Grasp of the Undying. He's just a nuisance to lane win against. And Shen doesn't really counter Gangplank that hard, so it's gonna be sort of a really tough matchup on Shen. Looking at the other team's comp, we see a Zaya Tarek board. I don't really know how this works. I've never seen this bot lane come up. But we do see a Kha'Zix jungler, so they are looking for that solo pickoff. They're looking for that Shen ultimate to just increase 1%. And Orianna most definitely is the ultimate of Orianna. Can just team around, turn on the team fight in the blink of an eye. But I would have maybe hoped to see more AOE sort of damage coming in from PNX Team Dios, because usually with Orianna you sort of want that AOE burst damage to come in.
Yeah. Definitely for Team Deo, looking at the Zaya and the Orianna does not have a lot of damage early game as compared to Syndra. So overall, looking at both team comps, majority of the game is going to be the mid game and the late game. That's when teams as five come together and they have to hit all the towers right to the nexus. So early game, I see that Deimos Force, they have the upper hand, you know. There's a lot of damage coming out from each of the lanes. If they do plan it correct with that Gangplank Global, I think the Gangplank Global is to answer to the Shen's Global. Overall, in a Team 5 setup, I feel that Team Deo has a better composition, you know, for sustained fights. Zaya can take care of herself. She has to dish damage. If Kha'Zix comes in at the right time, all that isolation damage, everything, that's what they're hoping for. As for Deimos Force, you know, their front line, it can be Hecarim kinda, but if it's not Hecarim, it's like Karma and Gangplank next in line. So I'd like to see how they're gonna play their team fight, how they are going to, you know, put in a strategy that works for them. Because right now they look like a pick comp. It's great. They can pick anyone that they catch unsuspectingly, while Team Deo is more of like a team fight kind of comp.
That's very true. We see Team Deo has that stacked team fighting comps. You have the Shen ultimate, you have the Tarek ultimate, which just turn around the entire fights, and also the Oriana ultimate. So they're going to be looking around to play with those CDs. Meanwhile, on the side of Demos Force, we see that individual pickup comp, that snowballing sort of a comp where you just burst down one target and the whole fight sort of snowballs from that moment. We see that Syndra, we see that Hecarim, he's running that ignite, so that is definitely early pressure. Might even help him sneak up a kill early on. Looking at both comps, I feel it's going to be a really interesting game. On paper, they look sort of even. I can't pick a favorite right now, but just looking at comps, Apollonia, what are your thoughts on the win condition for Demos?
For Demos Force, they would have to do their picks really quick. If Syndra can get a stun, if Hecarim charges up and manages to push back someone, they got to get one kill before the whole team fight starts. That's what I feel Demos Force has to do, considering that they do not have, you know, a big beefy front line. But we got to look at the builds. We got to see how they're going to play this to their advantage. It's also not going to be easy to kill Team Deo. You know, they have the Zaya. Zaya she's self-sufficient with that ultimate. Tarek has that invulnerability. Shen is going to be tanky. Kha'Zix is on the flanks. Orianna, well, she's got to help herself. So now we are moving into the loading screen. We're about to get the game started. Thank you guys for following the tournament. You can continue the progress on www.legion.lenovo.com. And don't forget to subscribe to Legion Gaming India's YouTube channel, which is this channel you're watching the broadcast right now. They also have regular gaming content with some of the biggest names in gaming from around India. And Anthracite, I have a burning question to ask you. How do you feel about all the keystones that these players have picked?
They are known players. They're like they've played a lot, so I don't expect players of this caliber to make mistake with keystones. Honestly, every keystone I see is proper right now. I'm, however, very excited to see Zaya in the current meta. Recently, Zaya's ulti was sort of nerfed. The CD on her ulti became so massive that early games she sort of struggles a bit. But the laning phase, Karma and Tristana, well, they can dish out a lot of damage. They can also poke. So, and at the same time, Taric gives you that sustain. So, I'm really interested to see what happens in the bot lane because it is the more sort of a fight kind of a lane. Mid, you have that Syndra, Oriana, both will just farm, both will maybe try to get a little burst on each other and open opportunities for each jungler to come in and gank. Top Shen versus Gangplank. It's going to be a little hard for Shen to farm initially. GP can just stand afar and keep farming from his Qs. He can just keep stealing HP from Grasp of the Undying with his Q, and that's really, really strong. Uh, what do you think? So we basically spoke about the win condition for Dios Force. What do you think is the win condition for Team PNX?
The win conditions for PNX, well, PNX Team Deiyo. They're one of both names. For them, the win conditions, I don't. They have to play their early game very very careful. You see, the bot lane they might get poked out, with the Tristana range, the Karma poke. So it's going to be tough for bot lane. And I think if Kha'Zix can find the right timing, avoid all wards, and if the team helps set up ganks for bottom lane, it's going to help them a lot. If Karma and Tristana does overextend. As for Shen, Kha'Zix is going to have a hard time killing the Gangplank along with the Shen. But, if they plan it correctly also, it can work out. Kha'Zix also does have the option of mid lane because Syndra is not too mobile. So it all depends on how well Kha'Zix can look at the conditions of the lanes and create a gank. Same goes for Hecarim as well because I think it's pretty even for both teams. It just depends on which team is going to execute their strategy correctly.
And we start the game with a pause. That's a good luck pause coming in. We know we're gonna have a good day today. We know we're gonna have a great day today because the game started with a pause. But also because we have some players from Bangladesh, we have some players from Sri Lanka, and they tend to use battle ping because we have ping issues with Garena. So a lot of times the pause in the start is understandable. We see pretty standard item pickups. And do you think any team could try for a level 1 cheese?
Looking at both teams, Tarek does have that stun. I think Tarek can look for that level 1 cheese if they do plan it correctly. But looking at how Shen is guarding the top, Hecarim putting a very deep ward into Team Deo's jungle. They want that extra vision. I like that. I like that they found that opening and they did that because it's going to be able to predict where the Kha'Zix is going to go. So it's looking good as far as just one ward being in the jungle for Deimos Force.
You see that Zaya picking up the Doran shield, so she's definitely respecting the fact that both Tristana and Karma have the potential to like really burst you down. She
Yes.
does want to be safe and just keep farming. So how the bot lane pans out is really, really, really going to be interesting. I think we're going to see a mirror start. Both junglers are going to start from the bottom side. So we might see an early action either mid or top. What do you think is the lane Hecarim should mainly focus on?
For Deimos Force, Hecarim should look to shut down the Oriana completely, put her more behind than what she is, because I feel that Oriana takes time to build up. If Oriana has kills and assists, then she becomes more useful. As compared to Syndra, Syndra can stand alone. Syndra can just not have kills or anything, but she still has the damage. She's still going to be useful, especially with the electrocute keystone. So if Hecarim can look to put a lot of the power into the mid lane, get that Syndra fat. If Syndra roams, it's going to be tough already, automatically for Team Deiyo.
Indeed. So we see the laning phase start. It's pretty much going the way they expected it. Bot lane are trying to play it safe. On the other hand, they're pushing it out. You see that Gangplank just harassing constantly with the grasp of the Undying, taking in more HP than he deals. And that's something I feel is really strong. It also makes Gangplank a sort of a safe laner. Meanwhile, in the middle, Syndra is getting poked out a bit. Early levels, it's easier. Gangplank and Shen will skirmish a bit up top. Shen will take some damage. He will back off right now. And Gangplank still has that corrupting force. So, do you think? Oh, we see both junglers getting into each other's periphery. Hydra and Darker Than Zed dealing each other damage. Darker Than Zed's conqueror's been popped. He will pop his ignite, and Hydra just survives that sliver of health. There's Ash coming in. He will flash, pick up the first blood. I think he also sort of will pop his barrier. I don't think his barrier was needed. He will die. Naya tries to follow up. But Naya is a whole level behind. That was really badly played. Shen shouldn't have come down there. Honestly, that 1-for-1 trade was worth because you were getting the first blood out of it. But we do also see a cheeky mastery spam coming in for Oriana.
So it looked like as though Team Deiyo was going to get that, you know, like as though they were going to lose that, and Deimos Force was going to get that kill on the Kazakhs, but it turned so badly.
Oh, Synchro going in on Hydro. He will deal some damage, but Hydra will be able to E out of that situation. That will give them a comfortable scuttle up mid, and Savage with a double buff is going to be really annoying for that Oriana to deal in. I'm so sorry to cut you off, but what were you saying about the...
Not to worry at all. So there's a lot of action already happening in the early game. We love action. In fact, usually the early game is not this happening. And we see that Oriana manages to scout out the Hecarim. That's a very good ward that she has placed there. A bit of things happening in the mid lane. Not too much, but back to the point of Deimos Force. Very good start for them. You see that 1 kill, 1 assist on that Gangplank. Gangplank is going to be comfortable. He's going to be able to get his items. He's not running Klepto. So the participation that he just got is going to help him a lot on his first back. I would like to ask you though, for the Kazakhs right now, what do you think he should be doing?
Okay, so Kazakhs right now, I think he's gonna struggle a bit. He did end up losing. He actually got a gang, but he's a bit behind. So he will need to farm, and he will need to look for more ganks. Kazakhs as a jungler can gank early on. It's not really that heavy a level 6 reliant jungler to gank. I mean, it does give you that enhanced Q and deals more isolated damage, but it's not completely reliant on that level 6. What I like that Itmam has picked up Cull. So even though he's not running Klepto, he's gonna still use Cull for the bonus gold that what Cull offers at 100 CS. We see Darker Than Zed showing his presence bot, but both Zaya and Tariq will be able to walk out of it. Nothing coming off really. It's just standard game going on right now, but it's looking at the early game. I think Deimos Force has an upper hand, how minor it might be.
Yes, and right now we can see that Hacker's Ignite is up, and so is Syndra's. You know, this will be a perfect time if they were timing the Oriana flash. It's a great time for them to kind of invade, get ahead of the Kazakhs and the Oriana. Looking at all of this, both teams are playing as safe as they can. But I do like the fact that Deimos Force has very deep wards. If you're looking at the mini map right now, the vision control at the bottom, on the bottom side of the map, is brilliant. It's now in Deimos Force's hands to do that dragon. They have all the vision and everything. It's basically that they are helping set up the objective for the jungler, and that to me is a sign of a really good team.
And Darker Than Zed coming in. There will be an ulti from both Gangplank and Oriana. Gangplank coming in also mid. There's a 3-man mid. Ash, poor Ash, will take a lot of damage. Shen decides to come into ulti. I'm not sure if that was a correct decision. He will have to flash and he will survive. So Shen actually sticking with that ulti. Oh, they're making some mistakes. Kazakhs also, he's messing up with his pathing right now. He's not able to predict where Darker Than Zed is, and he's just not being able to either punish or match his pathing at this point. So Kazakh definitely needs to step up his game at this point. What do you feel?
I love how active the Gangplank is. You know, most Gangplanks always just stay in the lane and CS. A little bit of harass coming out from the Karma. Is anything going to happen? Zaya throws out the feathers. Not much, but we see an engage.
We see an engage. Ryuji Tatsu will deal some damage. It's basic trading going on right here. You have both supports that give you sustain plus that poke. So bot lane, I don't think some exciting stuff is going to happen at bot lane unless we see the jungler come in.
Yes. So for the gangplank, as I was saying before, I like the fact that it's 1-0-2 is very active.
Oh, there's an engage going on bot lane. An exhaust being popped. Darker than Z comes in. Tariq flashes, but I think again he's wasted that flash. They get a comfortable kill on Tariq. No summoners being burned on the side of the bot lane. Actually, we do see the heal and the exhaust being burned on Karma and Tristana, my bad. But on the other side, they end up losing both summoners and they end up losing a kill. Do you really feel that flash was worth it? Or should he just have died?
I think he should have died. Like he should have just died because it was pretty much over for him. You know, I think 4 kills at the start, 2k gold lead, Deimos Force. This game is in their hands right now, and they can play the early game to their advantage. And it's just a matter of time for Team Deiyo to get together and realize like, hey, we gotta get back all of the control, all of the vision and everything. Look, Syndra, you know, I like how Syndra and Gangplank, how they've been playing since the early game. It's not only about their lane. They have moved to the river many times, helped with, you know, Scuttle, all of that. I like the fact that each team member is doing more than what they're supposed to be doing. So that's very refreshing and very nice to see from Deimos Force. As for Team Deiyo, you know, I think it's kind of the pace for them is a little bit slow. I think Kha'Zix is not having a great time. He's doing blue buff now and he gets stolen.
Oh my god, Darker than Z steals the blue buff. Will deal a lot of damage on Hydra. He will be able to E out of it. But Darker than Z is relentless, guys. That's a lesson for you all. Ban Hecarim against Deimos Force. Darker than Z is just so comfortable on that champion. It's kind of like a mental victory. The comfort on the champion just allows him to be volatile and put so much pressure. The way we see Darker than Z and Syndra are going back and forth. Meanwhile, Synchro jumps in. Xayah will take a lot of damage. Will survive at 1 HP. And that's the ulti coming in. Kha'Zix steals that dragon. And there's Shen also coming in. This looks like a haphazard fight. Savage doesn't have his mana. He will back off at this point. And they did get the dragon stolen, so that's a minor victory for the side of PNX.
That was revenge. Kha'Zix was not having the fact that his blue buff was gone. You know, now Hecarim is dead, and Team Deiyo, they got the dragon. That is really good for them. They're trying to come back. Brilliant. You know, I just feel that this game is going to get so much more intense as the teams come together for a fight. However, Deimos Force, it looks like they're going to play more of a split pushing game rather than 5v5 because Team Deiyo, they're really strong as 5s. So let's see how that plays out. Brilliant steal from the Kha'Zix on the dragon. Brilliant.
That's very true. I'm pretty excited to see how this game pans out to be. Itmam does manage to get a few platings up top. He is going for his Triforce, and once you see the Gangplank have his Triforce, his barrel actually starts to deal a lot of damage. So I'm just excited. Darker than Z and Hydra meet in the lane. Hydra manages to deal a lot of damage to Darker than Z. He's coming for his blue. And oh my god, that's a burst coming in from Hecarim. Brilliant flash there by Ashe. Van Gogh is coming in. Ashe has to pop his barrier. Shen will die. Gangplank flashes in. Itmam getting another double kill. Meanwhile, a fight trying to pick up a bot. Ryuji Takatsu will deal a lot of damage. Synchro got exhausted at the last moment, and that just saved Kai'Sa by almost 2 HP. So a really good fight going on there. Both exhausts being burned flash, and there was a really nice engage from.
Absolutely brilliant. You know, I love it when there's so much action that you start feeling the goosebumps. You just get so hyped. Very nicely played from Deimos Force. You know that. Oh, and there's a stun on the Kha'Zix. And Kha'Zix gets popped. He gets popped. Oh.
Well, he was just a little too ahead of his line. Syndra saw him. She knew she'll have enough damage to burst him down from half
Straight
HP to the
disrespect.
electrocute. And she just decides to like annihilate him. And now you can finally see the nerves getting onto Lanka Lions. There's a pause coming in from the side of Deimos. Force, I think there's some technical issue, and we go back into the game almost instantly. So looking at the score, 9-2, almost a 5k goal lead at 12-minute mark, which is still comebackable, I must say, but it's still a lead which should be scary for PNX team Deiyo. What are your thoughts? How do you think Deiyo should play from now?
Looking at Team Deo, they are suffering on the CS side of things. You know, the AD carry, she's the only one to hit, but the opponent AD carry from Deimos Force, not that far behind her, but I see the Orianna and Shen, they are suffering substantially, and also the fact that they haven't got kills. So Team Deo, they got to come back from this. They got to figure out a plan. The first tower has not been down yet. It's almost going to be 14 minutes where all the plates are down. So we can tell that there's a kind of a balance of skill, but Deimos Force is proving to be a lot stronger in terms of macro play. Now we see the Rift Herald getting popped at top. Is Xayah fighting? Yes, she is, and Karma tries to stop the Xayah. The GP ulti is coming in. There's the ulti from Taric. Invulnerability, and Syndra is here in the bottom for the party. Shen comes in, gets pushed, and is Xayah gonna live because Tristana is all in? No. 2 lives lost in the bot lane. More fights at the top. Do you see this?
This bullfight's going up top. Kha'Zix will be just able to flash out at the last moment, and it's an absolute bloodbath. 3 for True Tate going in. Syndra will be caught down. Beautiful stun flash coming in from the side of PNX Team Deiyo, and they are just like, we're down, but we will not be out. It is amazing the way this game goes, and honestly, Itmam is so ahead, it's being scary. He might be able to take the tier 2 turret up top because he just popped the Herald. No, never mind. I think the turret got saved, but it's almost at a 1-hit HP. Itmam is definitely scary. He just got 2 kills up top there. So Gangplank with that much farm, do you think it's a threat they need to be really scared of?
Right now this Gangplank, he just finished his Triforce. I play GP, I love GP, and having your Triforce in this circumstance is going to be so good for him to split push the side lanes. Like we said, Deimos Force is going to win if they continue splitting, and once they when they see Team Deiyo try to rotate, that's where they get their picks. That's how Deimos Force is going to win. I feel the split is going to help. You know, we got the GP ulti, GP teleport. They should utilize the fact that they are a pick comp and not choose something that is 5v5. And we're in a pause right now.
Honestly, at this point, I feel GP has so many items that even if they do a 5v5, it's very hard. It's almost a little hard for PNX Dios to stand together, because the more you clump up, the more you see those barrels starting to really hurt. So it'll be interesting to see how they pan out. You see, Kha'Zix is really struggling. He has those 3 long swords coming in. He's really struggling at this point. He's almost at the same CS, but I think he's just an assist behind. But I don't know. Kha'Zix is a really heavy early game reliant champion. I feel he should have shown more presence in the jungle, but now is the time the mid game starts, and the moment we go to the late game, Kha'Zix won't be able to offer the burst it's able to offer right now. Looking at the bot lane, we see the first item being completed from the side of Xayah. We see Xayah completing that Essence Reaver, so that's definitely a power spike coming in. And Tristana still trying to make that IE. She still needs a few minions maybe. So the game is still pretty balanced, don't get me wrong. There might be a 5k lead, but it's mostly on Itmam and it's mostly on the mid lane. So what do you think? How they should turn the game around? How should Team Dios PNX turn the game around?
If Team Deiyo, you know, if they are very aware and they look at the levels, it's actually pretty shocking that Team Deio's bot lane is well, the AD carry is over level, has one level above the Tristana. GP and Shen on par. Kha'Zix managed to keep up with levels and also CS, so Kha'Zix isn't doing a terribly bad job. But we can see the clear big difference between the Syndra and the Orianna. If Team Deiyo can focus and take down that Syndra before she can put out a big amount of damage, Team Deiyo has a chance. 5k gold difference at this stage. Deimos Force is not fat enough. They're not ahead enough to make one mistake now because it can go downhill for them.
I would like to cut you off right there. Gangplank actually has a 3k gold advantage, so that's the highest lead there is over Shen. That is
Yes.
scary. And at the same time, you have the Syndra. So both your solo laners are extremely fed. Jungle, there's like almost 400 gold disparity, so that's not much. Bot lane, I'm pretty surprised. Zaya and Tariq are actually ahead. So that's the only saving grace PNX has. And they should be looking to focus and play around the bot lane so that the Zaya really can be the AD carry right there.
Yes, indeed, some great insight. So I'd like to just, everybody that is watching, thank you for coming to the stream. You can follow the tournament progress on www.legion.lenovo.com. And don't forget to subscribe to Legion Gaming India's YouTube, which is this channel you're watching the broadcast from. They have regular gaming content with some of the biggest names in gaming from around India. So back to this game and looking at everything, this pause is pretty long. There's a limit of 10 minutes. If it goes anything below that, the team that is not ready, it's a DQ. So they gotta hope that the internet comes back and everything. I mean, it is a struggle. It is a struggle playing with ping issues.
It's definitely a struggle, but I think we should be back online. We keep facing these problems because of region, and we see Deiyo Takatsi come back, and the game might start any minute. So it's almost 15-minute point in marking the game. The objectives right now, we see a dragon coming up bot side pretty soon, and Baron still has that 4-minute window, so we'll start prepping up on the Baron soon. What do you think the Baron contention should be like? Should they play around Baron? Should they push top lane? Top PC is pushed from the side of Deimos Force. And meanwhile, as we were talking about Dragon, Darker Than Zed will start the Dragon, and Deimos Force will just get a free Mountain Drake. Meanwhile, Ash is struggling to kill that blue buff who just reset.
Yes. This Earth Drake is going to be so good for Deimos Force because this Mountain Drake helps you with killing epic monsters. It helps with tower damage. It's going to help their split push composition a lot. So it's great that they managed to pick that up. Looking at the whole map and everything, and also one thing I like to point out, looking at the vision scores of all the different champions in games, Syndra has the highest vision score, and that is the mid laner. I mean, Gangplank played a good game with the ultimates, the roams, but Syndra with the highest ward score coming into the mid game, I think that's very impressive. It's extremely impressive.
You know how important vision is when you see two teams almost fight over that scuttle. So yeah, vision is sort of the meta. Vision is very important in the game when it comes to a MOBA sort of a setting. We see pretty standard lane going on. Orianna finally has some damage on her. She will be able to deal some damage to Syndra, and Syndra knows that now it sort of won't be a one-sided fight if they do decide to skirmish up mid. Darker Than Zed, still a lot comfortable roaming around. You just see him enter enemies jungle whenever he wants, even though mid and bot turret are not pushed, and he will just run out of there. Meanwhile, Ash gets caught mid. He will take a lot of damage, and he will just die. Wangog with that ulti, picking up the kill. Darker Than Zed also ulti to take that kill, but Itmam will be like, no, I'll take that over from you. Give me some more farm. I need to carry this game.
The Orianna flashed, thought that she was gonna live, tried to pop the ulti on the Hecarim, but the Gangplank ulti finished her off, and that is a mid lane for Deimos Force, the tier 1 mid tower. Nicely played, they got a kill on the enemy mid laner, and now they're pushing for a tower. GP is so close to getting this top tier 2 tower. Hope it goes well for him. Here comes Hecarim.
Oh, that's Darkazan Zed coming in. He will be able to E out of their Shen. So a good presence of mind, but he will end up losing the tier 2 turret up top. Now they should be looking for the tier 2 turret mid, and then their final Baron preparation is finished. I'm surprised to see the bot lane hasn't moved. Oh, Gangplank going in mid, he will deal a lot of damage. Ash completely missing that ulti on Orianna, but Kha'Zix comes in and what a burst! Kha'Zix will be able to offer so much burst. Orianna survives because of that barrier, and we see a shutdown coming in. The Gangplank finally.
The first death, and nice shutdown goal for Kha'Zix. Wow, that was a good turn of events. You see, Deimos Force, if they don't pick their battles correctly and they get too greedy, they can fall behind. And we see
there's a 4-man bot. We see Hecarim coming in from behind. He'll deal a lot of damage. He'll get Kha'Zix along with him, and he'll die as well. Both exhausts being popped. Synchro gets that kill on the Kha'Zix, but it's a 1-for-1 trade where there was a 4-for-3 fight. So I would say completely worth it in favor of Deimos.
very, very nice. You know, they're giving Orianna that space. Orianna needs to get her items, or else they're not going to have any burst damage. Burst damage besides the Kha'Zix, but you know, we all need the mid laner to do some form of peel. So it's great to see that they managed to capitalize. I mean, it's a 1-for-1, but this is slowly bringing Team Deiyo back into the game, and this could really mess with the mental of Deimos Force, because at the end of the day, you know, this league, everybody's going to get affected by how the game is happening and everything. Team Deiyo is really coming back, strong mental. They're going to keep fighting. So for Deimos Force right now, they got to pick their battles. They have to watch their team comp. They got to pick their battles. Looking at the CS differences, you know, Tristana has now significantly fallen behind compared to Xayah. Orianna is behind as well, and so is Shen. Goal difference is 5k, still pretty large.
And we see them starting to prep up for the Baron. Ward's coming in. Goal difference, you see Shen with the Titanic Hyderabad on the other hand. You see the Gangplank with 2 fully completed items. Darker than Zed going in for bot. He'll try to zone them out. He just wants the bot turret at this point. So the bot lane is pushing in, and that would also open up more scope for the Baron right now. Meanwhile, Ryuji Takatsu does spot that Kha'Zix. Darker than Zed going in, and that's a beautiful ulti. Juke coming in from Hydra. He will be able to escape from there, but they will end up losing that blue buff. Syndra picks another blue. Meanwhile, Gangplank is able to put the bot turret, and now they're rotating and taking the dragon. And hopefully now they'll move up top side to take care of the Baron. So that's beautifully played right there. And to remind you, Gangplank still has his teleport up, whereas Shen doesn't have his teleport up, but Shen has his ulti up, so that's sort of okay.
Beautifully played by Deimos Force, you know, getting that other tower in the bot lane. 4 towers to Deimos Force and 0 to Team Deiyo. Deimos Force is just, they're just showing their dominance right now. The game, they made a few mistakes here and there, lost a few lives, but they are determined to win this game. Just securing that other Ocean Drake, good for them, you know. See, looking at GP, how he's splitting. This Ocean Drake is going to help the split pushers a lot because they can slowly regenerate their health. So that's really good for Deimos Force. Now, I'm looking forward to see how both the teams will play around the Baron. The next dragon is going to come up in 4 to 5 minutes. Baron is going to be key here. It's 22 minutes into the game. And early Baron can be done, you know. We see that Mountain Drake on Deimos Force. Are they going to utilize it? That's the question.
I mean, this game, Deimos Force has played really nice. I don't think they should force anything at this point. You saw Hydra just take chunks of damage from their one poke coming in. So they can just outpoke them right now. They should just be patient. Darker than Z, meanwhile, going in for a burst mid. Oriana will pop his ulti, will do some damage, but will die. Kha'Zix coming in. Kha'Zix will take a lot of damage, will die, but trade a kill for Darker than Z. And that's a tier 2 turret going in. Both junglers are dead, so doing a Baron is scary. But tier 2 turret and a 2-1 trade nonetheless. Bot lane, Itmam is just pushing, he's just relentless. He's just punishing that Shen, and honestly, the way I Killed Wangog has been playing in this tournament, he's definitely one of the top laners in. Oh my God! What was that burst? Xayah just gets. That was way too much. Syndra just popped Xayah out of nowhere, and oh, she's dealing some serious damage. They will be able to take the inhibitor turret, and that gives them so much Baron priority. It's not even funny right now. Itmam, meanwhile, will be able to split push, take the second tier bot turret. They're just playing this macro game so beautiful.
Very, very nicely done by Deimos Force. Wow, you see, that's what they needed. They needed to get the picks off. First, they got it on Oriana, then they got it on Kha'Zix, and now the Xayah. We see Syndra backing in a very risky position. She tries to stun them, and looks like the stun is going to connect from the turret, linking himself to the Kha'Zix, and that is a kill for Kha'Zix. He's mad. He was mad that Syndra ulted and killed him just before. He was mad. Big man.
And that means it's a 4-for-5 Baron. That's a pause coming in again from the side of Team Deimos Force. And like I was saying, Itmam has showed extreme potential from the start of this tournament. And the way he's played GP today is really, really commendable and really, really good. He's the potential to be one of the best top laners in the Indian subcontinent. Most definitely one of the players to look out for from Deimos Force. Going into the further stages, I hope all the other teams are paying attention to this game, because round of 16 is where things start to get a little more serious than the group stages. And I'm really excited to cast this game, because it's a really close-up game. I mean, there's almost a 9k gold lead. Don't get me wrong. It looks like a sort of comfortable gold lead on the side of Deimos Force, where they can just sit down, sip their cup of coffee, play the game casually, and win it out. But that's not how it's happening. They're still getting picked off. You still see PNX, Deiyo still trying to fight, and that's something which is really, really commendable.
Team Deiyo, for a fact, they are a team that knows what they're doing. So the moment they catch Deimos Force out of position, they will capitalize on it, and we can see from how Syndra was so complacent. That's going to bite her, because the shutdown goal is just slowly going to get to the team members that will utilize it. Like Kha'Zix having that big shutdown goal, that's going to help him. That 400 goal, that's going to help him with bursting anybody that he can catch. So everybody that's watching this, do let us know who are you supporting. In the blue side, we have Deimos Force, and on the red side, we have Team Deiyo. So Anthracite, I have another question to pose to you. If it was flat out a 5v5 fight right now, just like Aram in the mid lane, do you think that Deimos Force could fight it?
Honestly, with how behind they are, I don't think they'll be able to fight it. GP barrels is just hurting too much. We also have Syndra can just pop one target out of nowhere. And now, if you see, Tristana has 2 items completed. So while Tristana was sort of behind from Xayah when it came to items, he is still 1,000 gold behind from Xayah. But now it's almost at par. So Tristana also has that the range advantage over Xayah, and Tristana also has that rapid fire cannon and IE coming in. So Tristana can now be that very dominant AD carry late game threat. So at this point, if I feel if there is a 5v5 fight, Team Deiyo might still.
Right. So looking at the situation of the game, we are going back. We are resuming. Hecarim, Darker than Z, he's back for action. So we see Team Deiyo looking to control the vision around Baron. Tristana checking it out. You know, are they actually starting the Baron? Team Deiyo is doing the Baron. Deimos Force is going to be closing in. They still have the Gangplank in the bottom lane. Are we about to see some action? We see the Teleport coming in. If they don't do anything about it, Gangplank is gonna die. He flashes out.
He flashes out, and Darker Than Zed coming in. He'll be getting popped immediately. They're turning the fight around. Synchro manages to get one kill on Zaya. That's a big kill. Ryuji Takatsu is gonna harass Shen. She's not gonna let Shen come up. And now Gangplank's barrels are really starting to hurt. The whole of PNX Deiyo will back out from that situation, and Baron averted for a 1-for-1 trade. Darker Than Zed with a really nice initiation and stopping them from doing Baron, getting them low, and now they don't have one jungler, but then it's a 4-4 fight, and both sides were low, so they'll decide to back off. But there was a good trade going there, a really good TP coming in from his mom. So I think it was a worth Baron start, keeping in mind there's no teleport available.
Right. Oh, that's a huge amount of damage coming from the Gangplank. He's gonna chase the Orianna down. Is he gonna be able to do anything? No. And he is going back to safety. I honestly felt that Gangplank should have stayed pushing his lane. He should have stayed pushing his lane, use his ultimate to try and blow Team Deiyo while they were doing the Baron. You see a
Synchro making a full engage on Ashe, and this is the Tristana damage I was talking about.
Whoa!
Burst down the Orianna. Orianna missing the entire ulti. Tristana decides to jump out of it. This is what I was talking about. This is the AD carry threat I was talking about late game. Tristana is just so brutal.
That Synchro had no respect for the Orianna. Synchro just went in and popped her Fireman Tristana style. Firefighter.
On the contrary, I would say Orianna wasn't respecting Synchro and walking up that front when they don't have even they don't even have their next the inhibitor turret right now in the mid lane. There's no business Orianna should be standing there at the first point. She's way ahead of her line. There was nobody to protect her in the front line, and Synchro is just like, mate, you stepped way ahead than you should have. I'm gonna get that.
Yes, very, very good way. A very, very good display of how Synchro just capitalized on a mistake made by Ashe from Team Deiyo. So now it's the Baron is still up. You know, the next Mountain Dragon has successfully gone to Deimos Force. And
Did you just see Karma
Yeah.
just throw away Tariq to the other side? I'm sorry.
that was a straight deny. And now, you know, we see the teams coming around Baron. They're both gonna fight for Baron here. GP, it's very nice to see him sticking with the team because he knows he doesn't have teleport anymore. However, Shen has the luxury to split push. It feels so even though it's like a 9k goal lead and the CS gaps are huge. Like, look at Shen and Gangplank. And looking at the ward scores and everything, you know, Deimos Force is clearly doing a lot more work. But now they're having a hard time because Team Deiyo is sticking together. So it's going to be extremely crucial because at this point, either team that gets aced, they're going to get eaten into. Granted that, you know, Deimos Force, they still have the luxury of all their towers being up. So if they die this time, they still have a chance. But if Team Deiyo dies, they have an open and hit. The Baron is up, it could be over for them.
Just reminding you, that's a 75% crit chance on that GP, and they start Baron. They have no Team Deiyo doesn't have any vision of the Baron. They will be able to burst down the Baron easily. Hydra coming in, the bird on the side. There is Syndra. He will just pop out Hydra and be like, okay, you overstep. You have no vision from there. There weren't 5 people doing it. There were 3 people. Meanwhile, Zaya fights the GP. She'll be able to deal some damage to GP and walk off from there. Darker Than Zed is not stopping. He's going relentless. He will go in all in and kill that Shen. They're inside their base. Tariq getting stunned. Synchro dealing a lot of damage. He will be able to kill him. Darker Than Zed going on that Zaya. The Zaya will flash. Just survive. And oh my god, there's an ulti coming in from Synchro. He will pick up that kill. So that's a Baron loss. That's 4 people dead. And that as well just might be game right now. And Savage is like, okay, let me just do the ace. He will just troll. And he's just not killing the Orianna easily. They can't stop it right now. Oh my god, Kha'Zix dies in the fountain. And
Wow.
that's a very convincing victory coming in from the side of Deimos.
Oh, that was a very exhilarating ending, you know, getting that Baron. Kha'Zix got caught Deimos Force, GG well played their team comp very, very well, exerting dominance throughout the entire game. Good job to Team Deiyo for doing their best against Deimos Force. Deimos Force takes the victory, and thank you everyone for watching. Do follow the tournament progress on www.legion.lenovo.com. We'll be back in a bit with more matches at 9 p.m. very soon. For this Rise of Legion Indian League of Legends tournament, which is powered by Intel. Alright, so don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel where you're watching the broadcast, and you'll get regular gaming content as well from some of the biggest names in India. Wow, I am still feeling all the good vibes. Thank you everyone. I'll see you later for the next match, and I'm Apollonia signing off.
I'm Anthony signing off. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow Lenovo Legion YouTube page for more updates from some of the top streamers in the Indian subcontinent. Peace out.
To the untrained eye, you look like everyone else. But you have another side. Embrace it with a machine that's worthy of you. Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo, powered by Intel Core i7 processors.
Think she can't get a last-second clutch? Watch this. Think he can't carry his team while streaming in high resolution? All the while recording a once-in-a-lifetime win? Watch this. Think leveling up only happens in-game? Watch this. On Intel Core i7, they'll rise to every challenge. Now it's your turn. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7.